Hello universe, welcome to yet another video on the smart assistant. And in this video what I'm going to present to all of you is the new menu system. As you can see here, there's a um, menu panel here, and some new interaction system. So the first thing you can look at is this thing here. I've changed the menu logo, and here you can look at the new menu panel. There are only two selections here, and I'll be adding more as the project goes. So yeah, currently there's two, and there's also a scroll bar here which works nicely thanks to Unity. Yeah, and okay, so the next thing about some updates, major updates that I've done to this project is the socket. In the last video, whenever Python want to interact with Unity, what it needs to do is it needs to rewrite a file and change the values inside the file. So, and Unity will continuously read the file to see if there's changes. All right, but for now, instead of doing that, like rewriting the values of the file, we use something which connects Unity, C# with Python, is socket. So what's socket? So basically socket is something like you host a server, and there can be multiple devices or one device, which in my case is one device, and you connect to the socket, and the socket server will be able to send data through the socket server to the devices, and the devices that connect to the socket can also send data to the server. Yeah, so that's how we communicate between Unity, C# or /Unity with Python. Okay, so yeah, here's the socket, and there's a script here. And as you can see here, there will be a port where you can change. If you download the project through GitHub, you can change the port, and you can put your host name, or you can just put the IP or anything like that, so where you want to connect to. Whenever you receive something, like you receive a string or a number, it will just appear in the public receive place. So you do not need to type anything here. It's just the place where you can see what it receives from Python. So back to the code. There are some major changes here. Okay, so let me explain how it goes. So in the main.py, once you run the main.py file, so once you run this file, what it does is it initialize everything: the username, the name, the version, the IP address of the PLC, which I've talked about in the last video, which means programmable logic control, which is usually used in industrial purposes. So yeah, this can be used in a smart factory. Why not, right? So yeah, and then we got the pathways that we initialize, so that there are no error that we can't find this particular file, this and that. And also we have got after initialize everything, we have got the run function. This run function basically just runs the main function of this whole program, and what it does is basically check if you want to train a hot word or not, and if that's the case, it trains the hot word, and then it run the conversation.handle forever. So what conversation.handle forever does, basically it just it's just, let me open up conversation. It's in clients conversation. So basically it's just a while loop, and what it does is it checks for the mic. So it takes in data from the mic, and it checks if the data, I mean the stream data from the mic is above a threshold or not. The threshold is given in the fetch threshold function, so you are not going to see here. So if it's greater, that means the surrounding sound is great, I mean is large. So if the sound is large enough, it's noisy enough, so it means it will just consider that someone is talking. All right, so then what it does is it detects it decodes the wave sound that it captures into text. So that's speech to text, right? So it use the passive listen thing and detects if it is a hot word that the user spoke. So if it is a hot word that the user spoke, it goes into this thing. So what this thing does, basically, it just like it greets you once it detects that you spoke to the agent, then it greets you. So it greets you, and what after it greets you, this line after it greets you, it asks a question. So I mean it listens to a question, not ask a question, sorry about that. So it will listen to a question and using active listen, and after getting a question, if there's a question, it will query using a brain module. So basically what the brain method does is it search through all the modules inside the module folder, and if there is one that fits the question, then it runs the module, right? And if you didn't say anything, or if it misses your question, it will say pardon, and you can repeat, or if you do not repeat, it will just ignore that. Okay, and it will go up to the loop and restart the loop again. So that's the whole loop. Back to socket. Where are you, socket? So yeah, basically it's very easy to set up a socket server. So you import sockets. I think it's built in Python, so you do not need to pip install anything. Okay, and you get the host name of the socket. Basically you can assign your own host name, but I'll just get the local host name, and we bind to the socket and we start to listen to the connection. And yeah, so that's how we do it. And if we can listen to any incoming data from other devices, I mean other ports, other connections, right? So it means that we have someone has connected to our server, right? So it says new connection has been made, right? And there are two functions basically here, which is send message and receive message. So send message basically means that we send message to the client, and receive message basically means we receive message from the client. Yeah, that's that. And also keep in mind that there are limitations to the message that we can receive. All right. So basically we receive by chunk, and this is basically a very huge number already, so there won't be much error coming up if the message is not so huge. That's all of it that I want to cover in this video. And in the next video, actually what I'm going to cover is how do you guys can start making your own module inside this module folder, and what are the things that you need to know. And also now you know how the whole smart assistant, the whole agent works. We call this thing an agent. Okay, how the whole agent works and how it loops, how the forever looping works. No, in the next video I think you are ready to go to create your own simple module. And yeah, I hope you think you learn a lot in this video about the smart assistant. And for those of you who want to contribute to this project, you can either go to Patreon, or you can like in a Discord join a Discord server and DM me that you want to participate in the project, because I've opened up space for anyone to join basically now. The prerequisite, of course, you need to know basics of Python at least until the intermediate section of Python. I have a course on Python basics, and if you go on the course, if you understand everything along the course, and if you could build a hangman game at the end of the course, and you know what is going on in the hangman game, yeah, I think you can participate in this project basically. But coming up, there are more things like I've embedded some deep learning utilities here, like some networks using TensorFlow. There are more to come, and of course you need to know some deep learning basics here to be able to continue doing further doing this project. And I think that's that for this video. So new video coming up about deep learning, and I hope you like it. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, sorry for like doing another separate session. I just want to demo how it works here for this menu. So I've disabled a socket. As you can see here, the socket here is disabled, so I won't be able to interact with the thing here. So to be able to interact with the agents here, I will need to enable sockets, and once it's done, I will need to go into main.py and run this agent. So run it. Okay. Oops. Some exception here. Run it again. I think there will be error. Okay, so you can see here that the server has started at home PC. Okay. Port is 6133, and you can change the port number if you want inside this Python socket file and this Unity. And I'm going to run this Unity. Go into console. Okay, it's running. So as you can see here, this socket has received a message from Python. Okay, so which means it's connected to the agent. And as you can see here, I've changed some of the animation. So before that, there's a pulse, it becomes bigger, and then when I click it, it becomes smaller. But now it just fades in color. Alright, and I've made it a little bit smaller, the icon, as you can see this. And if I click, the menu will appear, and there are different sounds when I hover over these buttons. And if I click on to the button, there will be another sound. Can you hear that? And there's a bug in Unity, I think, or if it's not a bug, I don't know. I don't know, because if you click on it, it will not be able to hover again until you click another place like here, and you will be able to hover again. So there's this scroll thing, it works. And if you use Android or iPhone, you can also host it, run it using Unity remote. I will cover it in the next video. Okay, using Unity remote, and then you'll be able to scroll using your finger. Right, it's supporting both of that. Okay, and to close, you can just click that close exit button, and it will just close out the menu and return to this thing. So if I say Nyx.
Yes, Nixon.
What's the time now? Nyx.
Anything.
What's the time now?
It is 10:10 a.m. right now.
So there's also a little bit update here. So last time the agent will just pause, right? But this time the agent will pause, brighten, based on the words that it's speaking and the volume, the amplitude of the how do I say, the sound. The sound. Okay, so here are the percentage of the loudness of the agent speaking. So using this thing, I will be able to manipulate the spawn rates of these particles. Okay, and with that, I'll be able to make it pause when it's speaking. And yeah, so that's how I do it. And basically that's all the updates I've covered. I hope I've covered all the updates here. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.